Really, animal husbandry has emerged as a promising sector for ensuring livelihood and nutritional security to our poor farmers. Among all the livestock species, sheep is the first animal to be domesticated by mankind to fulfill their domestic needs at the earliest days. I usually called sheep or goat as a five-star animal, as we know that sheep is a multi-purpose animal and giving five most significant valuable products to the weaker society of our Indian rural community. They are wool, meat, skin, milk, and manure. Sometimes manure is most costly than the wool or other products. This way, our sheep and goat plays an important role in Indian economy, especially in the part of arid, semi-arid, and hilly areas where usually crop or dairy animals are not economical or sometimes not feasible for economic reason. Perhaps in these areas, sheep and goat are the most economical and appropriate species of the livestock for utilization of available very coarse or very sparse vegetation, and they convert into five valuable products. So I called them a best biological converter of waste because these two species convert these weeds into these five very important products from sheep. I also consider sheep and goat as a moving bank, or we can say chalta firta ATM, as they act as an urgent source of money to fulfill their every emergent social need. As per the need of farmers, it is easy to sell the animals or repurchase the animals to fulfill their emergent need. Sheep or goat rearing needs less investment, less skill, and they are suitable for a low input system. And both animals are highly adaptable to adverse climatic conditions, which make them an important tool for poverty elevation. So these two animals I consider the best animal for in, as a part of integration in animal husbandry to remove or to reduce the poverty elevation. These two animals or rearing of sheep and goat make the women farmers as a Atmanirbhar farmer. Rearing of cow or buffalo attached with prosperity or sign of rich resources, as they required much attention and more valuable inputs every time. Whereas our these two species called small ruminant attached with weaker society or with poor resources or less investment, even some farmers are managing their sheep and goats on zero inputs resources. You can see the attachment of poor farmers, that is suffered with these sheep, how they care both way, animal care human and human care animal for their livelihood. Any sheep and goat you can rear in any climate, in any circumstances. You can see or you can rear sheep or goat from freezing point to boiling point. That is, you can rear sheep and goat in Leh Ladakh and in Jaisalmer or Badmer area. You can rear or you can see sheep and goat from Thar desert to waterlogging area, that is Sundarban or West Bengal. That is a Garol, a tiny sheep, a very prolific sheep come Sundarban, and most population breed Marwadi and Jaisalmeri found in Thar desert of Rajasthan. Most of the activities in sheep production are being carried by women, like they collect fodder or they went for grazing in a small flock size, watering, healthcare to their animal, their management, and milking. All these activities are being carried by women itself. As I have already said, that in India, it is very rare to find village without sheep or goat. You can find sheep or goat in almost all villages. If we see, the four important sheep rearing regions are northern temperate region, second northwestern arid and semi-arid, third southern peninsular region, fourth eastern region. First region is northern temperate region, which includes Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh, and Uttarakhand. And the important breed belongs to this region are Bakarwal, Punchi, Gaddi, Gurez, Karna, Changthangi, Rampur Buser. These are the breeds: Gaddi, Gurez, Kashmir Merino, Kashmiri, Rampur Buseri, Changthangi. Second region is northwestern region. It includes Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, and this is the region having second largest sheep population in our country. The important breeds for these regions are Chokla, Nali, Magra, Pugal, Sonadi, Muzaffarnagari, Patnawadi, and Jarwal. All breed produce a coarse kind of wool, best carpet. They are best carpet breed, and in this region, some crossbred sheep are also evolved like Isarde, Bharat Merino, Avikalin, and Avivasra. In these breed, we have used exotic inheritance in the shape of Rambouillet and Merino. But but this Avishan we have developed in this area by using all three native breeds at CS Delivery Avikan. These are the breeds. Marwadi is well known for its migration, long walking capacity. Magra, the best lustrous breed, belongs to Bikaner. Chokla, we can use Chokla as an Indian Merino also. Malpura, best mutton type breed. Muzaffarnagari, Patanwadi, in India, this Patanwadi breed is well known for its so-called milk, and this breed produce about on an average 1 liter kg per day. Some animals produce even more than 2 liter per day. The third area is southern peninsular. This is the most highly populated. Most of the sheep production, most of the breeds belong to this area. This area consists Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. The important breed for this region is Dakkini, Nellore, Mandya, Macheri, Ramanan White, Madras Red. These all breeds are almost non-hairy, although they produce very coarse or hairy kind of wool. Most breeds are known for their meat purpose only. You can see these breeds are, they like a goat, like Nellore, Madras Red, and Macheri. You can, even a layman cannot distinguish this sheep from goat. And this Dakkani and Mandya and Bellari, they produce some kind of very coarse or hairy kind of wool. This Mandya has a very peculiar mutton kind of characteristic. These animals are well known for their mutton purpose. In Eid, during Eid, they fetch more price, sometime more than 50,000 per animal during festive days. This is the fourth region that includes Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Odisha, Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Manipur, Tripura. And the important breed for this region are Sawadi, Chotanagpuri, Bonapala, Balangir, Ganjam, Garol, Kendrapada, Tibetan. The breed of like Garol and Kendrapada, they are the only two prolific sheep. They come from this area. They produce 4 to 5 lambs at a single lambing. If we see the leading state in sheep population, as per the 20th livestock census that was done in 2019, the sheep population of the country is about 74 million. that increased about 14% from the previous livestock census, that is 65 to 74%. And if we see, about 70% of sheep found in southern part, in southern state, that belongs Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, and followed by Rajasthan. Earlier to 2012, Rajasthan was on top in sheep population, but nowadays Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka are the top three states. They are having about 70% of sheep population, and they are also contributing in meat production. About 70% meat comes through these three states. About 15% sheep population are found in Rajasthan, Gujarat, and Uttar Pradesh. All breeds of this area, they produce carpet wool and well known for their mutton. And only 6% are found in the temperate region, that is in Jammu Kashmir, Uttarakhand, and Himachal Pradesh. All these 6% sheep produce fine wool, and also they are known for mutton. If we see the sheep population during 1950, it was around 39 million, and at present we are at 74 million sheep population. If we see the share of breed, as you know that we have 44 registered sheep breeds as per the NBHR Gazette notification. Among the total sheep population, 94.5% comprises of indigenous or nondescript sheep, and only less than even 5% are crossbred or exotic sheep in our India. If we see the highly population breed, they are Nellore, Dakkini, Marwadi. These three breeds contribute about 40% of sheep population of our recognized breed. Still, 41% sheep are yet to describe, or they are nondescript, but our NVHR, under the guidance and leadership of our Deputy Director General Dr. V.N. Tripathi, they are working on the description of these 41 sheep population under zero nondescript program. If we see the contribution of major state in meat production, in India we produce about 8.2 million tons of meat, out of which about 8.3% came from sheep, that is around 680,000 tons in the shape of mutton, and about 70% meat comes from three states, that is Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and Tamil Nadu. For this, on an average, 51 million sheep were slaughtered in the country, with an average of 13.5 kg meat per sheep slaughter in the country. This 13.5 kg meat is still less than the world average, that is 16 kg. It might be due to the lack of proper management or low genetic potential as compared to other exotic breeds. In India, if we see, Assam has lowest average of 7 kg of slaughter weight, whereas in Himachal Pradesh it is highest, that is 20 kg per animal. The meat processing is still very poor. In India, only 2% of the meat is processed, and the remaining meat is sold in fresh or frozen form. The meat processing industry is still in infancy, even though there is a vast scope for processing to meet out the public demand. At present, in India, the condition of slaughterhouse is not satisfactory. There is a need to educate slaughter facilities. The meat industry in the country is yet to transform into an organized sector. For this, modern state-of-the-art and processing plants are required to meet demand of the consumer for safe and wholesale meat. If we see wool production, Most of the Indian sheep breeds produce carpet quality of wool, and the wool production in India is stagnant since last 2 decades, and it is about 40 million kg, which ranging 40 to 45 million kg. And still, Rajasthan was the largest producer of wool, followed by Jammu and Kashmir and Telangana. Even India does not export raw wool, but it exports finished products such as woolen, fabric, clothing, and carpets, which generally have increased in the last few years due to price competitiveness. Hand tuft and handmade carpets are the largest share of Indian finished product export. Over the period, the price of wool in the country in comparison to mutton has not increased. This resulting in diversion of interest of farmers from wool to mutton. We are the seventh largest producer and we contribute only 2% of total wool production. Most of the wool produced by our Indian sheep are coarse quality and are being used for hand knitted carpets. If we see the average production of our Indian sheep, it is around 800 to 900, or some sheep produce 1.5 to 2.3 kg per sheep per year in India, which is very low than the world average. It is 2.5 kg per sheep per year. With rising demand and stagnated annual production, there is import of substantial amount of raw wool. Looking into the demand and availability of wool in domestic as well as international market, it is a great challenge to meet the demand for wool in the country. So for improving the wool quality, there is need to develop some good cross by using Rambouillet and Merino. And CSWR has developed few cross by using Merino and Rambouillet. If we see the percentage of non-vegetarian in India, data says that about 70% Indians are non-vegetarian. Nowadays, this percentage has reached up to 70, whereas in last 20 years, it was around 35 or 40%. If you see the percentage of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, it is more than 98%. But the per capita meat availability or meat consumption is still very low as compared to the recommendation of Indian Council of Medical Research. Indian Council of Medical Research recommend that to meet out the animal protein, there is need of about 11 to 12 kg meat per head per year, and in India it is just less than 6 or around 5 kg, whereas in world average it is 40 kg per year per head. If we see in China, it is around 61.8 kg per head. Friends, if you see the price index, somewhere the meat price of in 70s, it was around 2 to 3 rupees per kg. After 10 years, it was in 1980, it was 18 to 20 rupees per kg. After 20 years, in 2000, it was 90 to 100 rupees per kg. In 2021, nowadays, the price of meat per kg is around 600 to 700. So price in increasing. It means supply is very less because there is no alternate source of meat in India. There is religious and legal restrictions for other meats. So we have to rely only sheep and goat for major animals to provide the meat. So there is a wide gap between demand and supply, and definitely it would be further widened in future. If we see some critical gaps, no doubt there is demand, there is gap in demand and supply. Still, we are not able to provide high genetic merit to the farmers, best animal or best animal are being sold at the age of even less than 4 months of age to the butchers for slaughtering the animals. And most of the, as I have already said, that is still 41% sheep population is non-descript or yet to be described, or they are poor producing population. We are not having much resources for sheep production or goat production. There is inadequate health coverage, and we are not having sufficient extension services to disseminate the developed technology to the end users. Again, there is a unorganized sector for market. There is no market facility for these animals. So to meet huge global demand of mutton, there is need for strategic enhancement for the sheep productivity. It is the need of the hour. As I already said, as per the increasing in power purchasing and demand of animal protein, there is continuous rise in demand. To meet out the animal protein from animal protein to the human population, which is 30 gram of meat per day per head, it is rising, and due to less supply has resulted in record price of mutton, as I have already said, during last 5 years. So there is an urgent need to increase per animal productivity. With increase in human population and changing trends in food habits, the demand for meat is increasing. Therefore, for the sake of increasing the farmers' income, there is need to improve sheep and goat production, and hence making it a more productive income generating assets for farmers. To increase the meat, wool and milk from sheep and goat per animal, scientific rearing is the key, which would at the same time help in increasing the farmer's income as part of the achievement, the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister for doubling the farmer incomes. For this, our CSWRI, that is Central Sheep and Wool Research Institute, was established in 1962 to work or to develop the various technology for the improvement of sheep and shepherd. The main campus of this institute is located at Avikanagar in Malpura, Rajasthan, and it has 3 regional stations, one at with different having different mandates, one at ARC Bikaner, other at in Himachal Pradesh, Kullu Ghadsa, and one station we have at our Manavnu, that is in Tamil Nadu. Altogether, CSWR is conserving about 6,000 sheep heads, and we are also working on one Sirhoi goat, and we are maintaining about 700 Sirhoi goat, along with about 2,000 rabbits of 6 variety. So we CSWRI working on sheep, goat and rabbit, and we are providing about 2,000 sheep and goat of high genetic worth to the farmers for increasing their sheep and goat potential. We are also providing, or we are also working, or we are also propagating rabbit as an alternate source of meat, and lots of rabbitry are being established in Kerala and Karnataka in southern part, and nowadays nearby Delhi, and all germ plots are being supplied by CSWR and its regional station. If we see the breeding strategy, very clear, best to best mating, that is selective breeding among well-established breed in their local native tract. After that, there is need for grading up of that 41% low producer sheep with the ram of established breed. And there is also increase to increase the coverage area of breed which are being used under the genetic improvement program under network sheep improvement program. There is need to increase the number of sheep breeds. As you know that we are working only 10 sheep breeds under network breed program, but from this budget plan we have included 4 new breeds the approval of this budget plan. We are working on 22 sheep breeds that includes native breeds and also some developed sheep strains, that is Avikali, Bharat Merino, Gatti synthetic, and Avishan. We are working on the genetic improvement of these sheep breeds and along with the genetic improvement of native breeds like Magara, Marwadi, Muzaffarnagari, Malpura, Sonadi, Mandia, and Mecheri. These 10 breeds we are working under network improvement sheep program along with mega sheep seed units. And if we see the result of this genetic improvement program with holistic approach along with other associated division like health division, sheep nutrition division, reproduction division, the growth of sheep nowadays, we are attaining about 28 to 30 kg body weight at 6 months of age, whereas the body weight at 6 months of age during 70s, it was around 13 to 14 kg. After 50 years, we have reached double the body weight, and this body weight we are achieving at the age of just 6 months of age. This 28 kg or 30 kg, this breed have to attain at the age of 15 or 16 month of age. But the result of this genetic improvement program, we are attaining more body weight with more survivability, and we are also working on lambing interval. We have reduced the also lambing interval. CSWR has developed a very fantastic breed, a very climate smart animal, because you know in every program of genetic improvement program we have used exotic inheritance in our cattle program, in our sheep program. But in two sheep strain developed in India, one is Avishan and other is Nari Swarna. Nari Swarna sheep strain was developed at Nari Fulton by using Dakkini and Garol native breeds. And at CSWRI, we are using 3 Indian breeds, that is Garol with only 12.5%, which is well known for fecundity fake bee gene, Malpura with 37.5%, that is well adapted local breed, and Patanwadi, so-called a dairy breed or with bigger in size. So this 3 breed combination, we named it and we released it as a Avishan, and we are evaluating or testing these breeds under field condition, and we are getting very good result of this Avishan sheep under field condition, and we are having huge demand for Avishan sheep from every part of this country. Now, this Avishan is capable of producing more lambs, more milk, more live weight with better adaptability. We have also developed this Bharat Merino with indigenous Chokla and Malpura Jaisalmeri by using exotic inheritance of Rambula and Russian Merino. This is a kind of heavy side and producing file wool strain and capable of adaptable under temperate region, and it is tested under semi or intensive management system. They are the animal of Bharat Merino maintaining at Manavnur. They are performing well. If we see the body weight at 3 months, they are about 20.8 kg, and 6 month body weight, it is around 30.30 kg, with fiber diameter that is less than 20, they are around 19.3 micron. And if we see the adult annual greasy fleece yield, that is 2.7 kg, with modulation less than 1%, that is even 5%, for that is 0.4%. The best animal for upgrade for wool production, fine wool production, we can use, or we can recommend this animal, this breed, for grading up the nondescript animal, for improvement in body size as well as in quality of wool, but under temperate region. This is again a Avikalian breed developed at CSWRA during 1970 by crossing native Malpura and Rambule with 50-50%. This is a kind of dual purpose breed which is capable of producing better carpet wool and better mutton yield. And these animals can be used as an improver breed for crossing the low performer indigenous breed, which is which have to improve their wool and meat production. Avikalin can successfully be reared under this intensive or semi-intensive management system. If we see the performance, 3 month body weight, this breed attained 17 kg, and 6 months 29 kg, with adult greasy fleece yield about 1.6 kg, with fiber diameter in between 25 to 35 micron. This is again, we are working, as I have already said, this breed is Patanwadi, best in milch. We are working for genetic improvement for milk in this Patanwadi. We have procured Patanwadi about 300 sheep from Patan area of Gujarat. Really, this is a fantastic breed in milk, big in size. Some animals of this breed produce more than 2 liters of milk. Again, a very promising sheep breed. We are working on this Dumba sheep since last 5 to 7 years. This is highly adaptable and well adaptable to hot and semi-arid climatic condition. Very promising. If we see the 6 month weight, it attained about 50 kg, whereas other breeds attain 28 to 30 kg body weight at 6 months of age. So, for intensive breeding or stall feeding management, I recommend, or we can work, or we can rear this Dumba sheep breed. This is a highly priced breed and well suited for intensive stall feeding. This breed belongs to the Saudi Arab, but since long, this breed are being reared by our Indian farmers for better price and better growth. This CSWRI has developed a Avikasil technology, that is a sponge which is impregnated by progesterone for using estrus synchronization, which is facilitated in intensive breeding, and artificial insemination for easy flock management and reduction in heat detection time. The sponge kept in situ for 12 days, and after 12 days, the animal comes in estrus, which is detected after 24 years after removal of the sponge. This technique is very useful for producing or for plant breeding to get 3 lamb crop for 2 years. Very easy, and the success rate is also around 85%. We are also working for the cheap and best ration feeding for low cost sheep production. We are also working on unconventional feed resources to feed the low cost ration for sheep and goat. We have developed silage, hay, pellets, and feed blocks. We have also introduced chaff cutter. You can see even in pharma this very useful technique, chaffing the fodder, is not adopting by farmers. That most of the Indian sheep breeds do not produce enough milk to support higher growth rate of pre-weaner lambs. This CSWRI prepared a liquid milk formula to feed orphan lambs or twins and triplets from prolific sheep. The cost of preparing 1 liter of milk from Memna Pras is comes about 20 rupees, where the market price of milk is about 40 rupees. It is recommended to feed at the rate of 100 to 200 ml per lamb up to weaning at the 3 months of age. It gives multiple benefits to the farmers. We have also developed a Avika Min mix. It is a area specific mineral mixture to strengthen for improving the health, reproduction, and production in sheep and goat. It is useful for correcting the mineral deficiency in flock that is not generally fed with concentrate usually. We have introduced moringa, that is drumstick sesna. We are propagating this moringa. It's a very useful fodder, useful tree, multi-cut tree, very we are getting very good result by feeding this moringa to sheep, goat, and rabbit on their growth, on their meat quality. Also, very cheap and very effective. We are also introduced mulberry tree along with erdu. We have developed 3-tier pasture at our campus, which includes tall tree, some bushes, and at ground level cultivated crop, seasonal cultivated fodder crop. This mulberry is also multi-cut and palatability is very high, low cost fodder. Such kind of pasture there is need to develop for effective sheep and goat production to provide throughout green fodder for our sheep and goat. Nowadays, considering the shrinkage of pastures, grazing area, and non-availability of old graziers, there is a time to shift the paradigm from extensive to semi-intensive and semi-intensive to intensive to get maximum profit from or maximum production from sheep and goat. Time has come to adopt this stall fed or intensive system for sheep and goat production. We have developed commercial sheep housing, and we are showing and educating the farmers how to rear sheep and goat under stall fed condition or intensive system like cattle and buffalo. Now you can rear your sheep and goat at one place. So there is need to construct low cost commercial viable housing, sheep housing. We have developed this climate smart housing. As I already said, most of the farmers are not adopted the proper feeding style or feeding trough. We have developed feeding trough for sheep and goat. As you know that if we do not use this feeding trough or chaffing the fodder, about 30 to 40% feeding stuff is going waste. To save this or to save every inch of feed, we have to introduce or we have to develop very cheap and viable and feasible feeding trough or mangers for intensive sheep and goat farming. There is need for wool shearing. As you know that shearing machine is not available in the country. But nowadays, CSWRI is working with some IIT Delhi to develop a machine share, Indian make machine sharing, because machine sharing, if we compare with hand sharing, it resulted 15% higher wool yield and with uniform staple length and also with less injury to animal. So there is need nowadays to train the farmers for this for this machine sharing. Health scientist of this institute has developed a sea flock health management calendar for prophylaxis, which include timely vaccination, drenching, dipping, and technical health care. Application of this health calendar resulted in reduction in flock mortality from 15 to 5 to 7%. And the investment is only around 50 to 60 rupees. By using this 50 to 60 rupees on each animal, you can save about 8 to 10,000 per seed. There is need to introduce milk trade in our Indian sheep, because sheep milk is very healthy very healthy milk, and we can say 1 cup of sheep milk is more nutritious than 1 glass of cow milk. It will provide regular source of income to farmers and animal protein to the farmers. By more yield of sheep milk, the growth of lamb is more, health is better, so we can get more price, more meat by introducing milk trade in our Indian sheep breeds. As you know that milk yield of Indian sheep breeds is less than 500 gram per animal, except Malpura and Patanwadi. And Malpura and Patanwadi, they are producing about 1 kg of litter per day. You can prepare each and every items, like you have the product from cattle and buffalo milk. You can prepare cheese, paneer, kulfi, flavored milk, peda from sheep milk. And some time there is a high demand with high price of sheep ghee for using the medicine purpose. There is need to for value addition of meat products, and our institute is working various on mutton value added mutton products. Indian sheep breeds, they produce very coarse or kind of coarse carpet wool. There is need to give some value addition to wool so that farmers can get some price from wool. This institute, the TMTC division of CSWRI, is working some beautiful value-added product like Rizai, baby bed, bathroom mats, yoga mat from by using our coarse wool. We are also preparing some coarse wool value addition, development of woolen handicraft from this coarse wool, and we are giving training to the women of Safford. We are also working on wool composite. Recently, we have developed this wool sampling bag. As you know that our honorable Prime Minister has stopped the using of this plastic, single-use plastic. So now we have came up with this wool sampling bag, which is naturally degradable, which ultimately provide manure to the plant, and it will also enhance the growth of the plant. CSWRA has developed or prepared one manure, that is organic manure, by using sheep manure and open coral waste with 30% wool waste. As you know that wool waste from wool industry is about 30 to 40%. This is a burden. Now this kind of waste wool we are mixing with sheep manure, because you know that wool has water holding capacity. So the slowly degradable, and finally it release the nitrogen for better growth of plant or crop. We are also working on the genetic improvement of local breed. that is Siroi, which belongs to the Siroi or Nagaur district of Rajasthan, and we have demand for this breed from every corner of our country. This is a very beautiful, highly adaptable, very hardy goat breeds. We are working since 1970 on this breed for its genetic improvement. For better output, some technological scientific inputs are required. As I already covered various technology in my presentation, there is need to increase in prolificacy for increasing the more production in the shape of more lamb from each sheep. If we introduce fake bee gene in our sheep, then this sheep is capable of producing 1.5 times more lambs in lambing. There is need to use of superior exemplar, which enhance the 10% rise in body weight at 6 months of age. There is need to increase in flock fertility. As you know that flock fertility is more important to get the regular reproduction from sheep. It will enhance 6% additional lamb in overall flock. Artificial insemination is also helpful to get uh, genetically superior use ram, to get optimum use of superior ram. There is need to reduce lambing interval, Memnapras for more lamb growth, some supplementary phase feeding for better birth weight and growth weight, plant flock health to reduce mortality by 5%, machine sharing, skill improvement is will also increase the adaptation of scientific means, utilization of coarse wool, designer meat and mutton products, functional meat products, organic manure will also enhance the and will generate the employment, increase return from meat, and utilization of sheep milk for human. There is need to form cooperative societies or some group, Safard groups. We can say there is need of sheep production module, a group of farmers, Safard, which makes some cooperatives. There is need for minimum support price for sheep produce. There should be a minimum support price for wool and for mutton also. There is need for some kind of subsidy on sheep feed, sheep health, and other inputs for sheep rearing. Bank credit also, some insurance cover should be available for sheep rearing. And very importantly, there should be or there is a need to for organized marketing and well infrastructure development for sheep production. If we compare last 50 years in sheep production, in live, if you see the live animal price, it was 70 rupees in 1970, and in 2020 it was around 8,000 rupees per adult animal. If we see the price of mutton in 1970, it was 3 rupees, but nowadays it is 600 rupees, that is 200 times price. Mutton production in million, it was in 1970 143 million kg. At present, it was 680 million kg. Sheep population, it was 40 million. Now we are maintaining 74 million. The body weight, if we see at 3 months of age, it was 9 kg only in 1970. We reached 17 kg in 2020. And if we say the body weight at 6 months, that is slaughter weight, weight at slaughter age, that was 14 kg in during 1970, but due to our intervention, now we are getting about 28 kg body weight at 6 months of age. If we compare the survivability, in 1970 it was around 75%. Now we are getting 95%. That is 20% more lamb or more animal in the flock. Average carcass weight we have also increased. It was around 6 kg in 1970, but at present it is 13 kg. And if we see the rearing cost of sheep, it is around 14 to 15 rupees per day per sheep, which include grazing, supplementary feeding, medicine. If we count total cost for 6 months of age, it comes around 2,500 rupees. And if we see the sale value or income from sheep, if we consider rupees 250 per kg live body weight, and at the age of 6 months it comes 30 kg, if it is, then we get about 7,500 rupees per lambs. If we reduce the rearing cost, that is 2,500, then net income from each lamb at 6 months of age, it comes rupees 5,000 per lamb. So there is a scope for entrepreneurship, for doubling the income of farmer through these sheep and goat. And if we rear this prolific sheep, then if a farmer can double or triple his income by using all scientific technology developed by the research institute. There is entrepreneurship opportunities in sheep husbandry. Like there is always question for quality and tender meat in towns and cities. So supplying of fresh meat with quality, that is door delivery, is a opportunity. Again, supply of improved feed and fodder to existing or new entrepreneurs is again a entrepreneurship development area. Establishing reliable breed supplier or online consultancy is again a good area for entrepreneurship. To meet the future meat and wool demand, there is no doubt there is need to promote sheep and goat farming under intensive system, that is zero grazing system. Because of non-availability of sufficient grazing area, traditional grazier also. So for effective or for scientific or for getting more production from sheep and goat, now only and only system we have to adopt stall feeding, that is intensive system. We should develop brand of regional and local livestock products, local for vocal. Diversity in India provides ample scope of regional products, and there is huge market for such entrepreneurs. There are some constraints and challenges in sheep husbandry, like uncontrolled and indiscriminate breeding of animals in fin flocks, resulting in loss of growth, production and reproduction traits. Inadequate in availability of improved breeding ramps, shrinkage and degradation of pastures, declining feed and water availability, improper, untimely and insufficient prophylactic health, non-judicious use of medicines, poor reproductive efficiency, delay maturity, one lamb per year, and sale of lamb early age for slaughter. You know, majority of male lambs are slaughtered at even less than 3 months or 4 months of age, which resulting loss of meat production and economic losses to nation. Unorganized marketing of meat, wool, and skin. Credit support is also missing for sheep and goat. So I consider sheep and goat for future animal to fetch the more price or to meet out the demand for the poor and small and marginal farmers for their roti, for their kapda and makan. Thank you very much.